Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for attending today's webinar. It's going to be on statistics using the stats tab inside of Matrix and show you just basically how it operates, and then we can run through some examples of stats that you would like to know, or if you don't know of any stats, I'll give you some examples and just show you just how I think it's pretty powerful. I think it's a great tool that you can do all kinds of different charts and export the data out into an Excel spreadsheet and things like that. So I'm not sure who exactly is on here, how nerdy you can be, I guess, with stats, numbers and getting them in Excel pivot tables and things like that. But we'll start off basic and kind of advance, make it a little more and more advanced, if you will. But we'll start off as basic because I don't know everyone's level, so we'll go from there. Okay, let me close this down. And here's your Williamsburg Multiple Listing Service matrix page. So this should look normal for everyone. So when you log into Matrix in Williamsburg, that should be what you're looking at right here. And we do have some other webinars later this week. I'm not sure, I think one tomorrow, one Wednesday, I think. And I can't think of the topics offhand, but hopefully you're signed up for them, or you can get signed up for them. I think they post them under the news and alerts section here at the top. I don't see them because it's set at a different access level to where I don't actually see them, but I've been told that they are posted there, so feel free to sign up for them there too. So where I want to get started is right here under the stats tab here. Okay, if you kind of curious out there for those, if you could just let me know who has played with the stats tab here before, just kind of getting a feel for it. Who's played with it and think they can do pretty decent with it, but yet just want to make sure they're not missing anything. Anyone used it before? Use it on a regular basis maybe? Or maybe never have used it. Anyone out there never used it? Or do we just have a quiet class out there? Okay, thanks, Brad. Never used it. Okay, that's perfect. Never used it. Okay, great place to start. But even if you have used this or use it all the time, I know I go through it several times, and people ask me certain questions, and I say, well, let's try it. And I look into it and play around, and I discover new things all the time out there on it. So. And before I even get started with going through the stats tab here, I do want to make sure you know that under this help tab here, we have training guides and tutorials, video tutorials. Under the training guides, in this quick start guide right here, I'll click on it. If you scroll down, I know we have a stats section right here. So you can always open up the manual and just print off several pages of the stats if you want to look at it that way. But under the tutorial, video tutorial, let's see here. Yeah, we have one right here on stats. Now this is a different trainer who does it, and every trainer has their own style and their own method and stuff, or the way they mention things here. So it's about 6 minutes 54 seconds. So he kind of goes over it. I listen to him, and I've done videos, and other trainers have listened to mine. We just kind of listen to each other to pick up stuff and learn things, because everyone uses things a little bit different. So just want to mention before I get started that the help tab is there for you, and you can use that too. But under the stats tab here, what I want to do is just introduce you to everything so far that you're seeing. Here at the top left, you have a preset tab, a customized tab, and a save button where you can save things, which right now it's nothing to save there. So starting with the presets, we have some historical or system presets: historical count of active listings, sales price trend, historical sales by price range, the listing price per square foot, original price versus sold price, like what it started for and then what it ended up selling for, and then the sale price versus list price ratio. Okay, it was listed at 100, or 200,000, but it sold for 180. So, what's the average, or the median stats percentage of it there? How far does people normally come off of that listing price there? Okay, so you got that. So whatever one you click here, like the historical count, we'll just start with this one. Whatever one you click on, well, you can kind of hit that little arrow or drop down arrow there. You can save it as a copy, save, or delete, but we'll get to that later here. So we'll start with a historical count of active listings. So once you pick one, you can customize it right here after you click on it. And then, well, what's your time frame? Do you want to do the last 12 months? You want to do year to date? So beginning of January this year to right now, you want to do it to June 22nd. You want to do the previous year, all of last year, and see what it was. Do you want to do that year or those years, the past 5 years, past 10 years, or do you want to custom your date there? So I'll just pick right now just this year, since January this year. Then what stat do you want to use based on that? What was it? The historical count of active listings. You want the number of active listings. You want the volume amount, dollar volume of those active listings, the average CDOM. CDOM is cumulative days on market. Some places their CDOM and days on market, or DOM, are the same. Some places may not really use what we call CDOM. So what the difference could be between a CDOM and a DOM, or days to sell, which would be your days on market, is, well, once a listing gets on the market, it counts the days on market. But once it goes off the market, let's say it goes pending for a while, or it expires and someone else picks it back up within 30 days, well, then it picks up and continues on, or accumulates, if I can say that word, and it continues on. Well, that's what the CDOM is, where the DOM was just the first time it was on the market. But if someone picks it back up or takes it off market and then puts it back on the market rather quickly, then it accumulates. So that's really kind of, but some places it's all in the same there. The average, median, number of, and so forth here. So you can see all that there. You want it in a column format, a line, a smooth line, an area, or a smooth area. Well, we'll keep it on column for now. And how do you want it grouped by? You want to group by months, and that is pretty normal, just having it by month there. But you can go to advanced options also. Under advanced options, now you got month, and then what's your secondary one? Well, you maybe want by month, and then the dollar value, or the days on market, or months of inventory, the number of new listings here. So I'll just do number of new listings here, and we'll have that a column also, have those two match. And we're not going to save it yet. So right now we just want a historical count of active listings. And then when I click on customize, we only want this year. We want the average numbers of use. Can you do stats by neighborhood? Exactly, Judy. That's where I'm about to go to, right over here. Now I don't see neighborhood here, but we'll get to there. So exactly. I know if I delay a little bit, I get people start asking questions about where I'm going to. So sometimes I just linger on one side before get your attention there. Number of new listings. Here I think I want to do average of, now these are active listings, okay, not sales. So let's do the number of active listings, and here let's do the volume of active listings. Let's see what those two stats will give us there. Group it by month. So those are our two stats, both by volume. So now over here, I could draw a map around whatever areas I want to do, okay, whether it's a neighborhood or just whatever, yeah. Residential. Now, do I care about the type of residential, attached or detached, or just attached? I'm going to say detached, because to me that's kind of like the typical, or at least in my experience, that's the typical house, that's not attached to any other properties like a condo or townhouse. So I'm just going to say detached residential houses. Now I can pick a county or city. I can do a zip code or a subdivision. But if I'm missing something here, and I'm not sure, Judy, if neighborhood is a field that's in here, maybe that's more like a subdivision, so maybe it's already here. But if I'm not sure, and I just want to make sure that I'm not missing other geographical locations, I can go down here to additional fields and hit add. And then scroll down and see what I have to choose from. So I'm going to type in neighborhood. Yep, neighborhood name right there. Now, Judy, do you have a neighborhood name you want me to type in here? Because I don't really know them out there. So neighborhood name. So then I can just come down here and type in that neighborhood name there. Okay. Colonial Heritage, thank you. Now, it's a pick list, or not pick list, I type it in. So sometimes you have to be kind of careful, because if I type in Colonial Heritage differently than how the listing agent does, I may not get many results there. So I'm just saying residential listings, it is a subdivision, thank you. Okay, in that case, I can go up here and type in Colonial Heritage. Right there it is, perfect. In that case, I don't need this one. And that's even better there by picking it out of pick list, because since it's a pick list, and I can also hit that little box right there and scroll down and find it, or just start typing up here, Colonial, and then find it. And the reason why that's always nicer is because, let me move this up a little bit, there we go, is because it's a pick list, so it's hard to misspell that one. Now, you can pick the wrong one, but most people will at least pick the right one. If I was using this neighborhood one where I type it in, that's where you might have to use the asterisks. I don't know, like if I did asterisk Colonial, I don't know if you guys know about using the asterisk here. Notice how I got it before and after. That finds any neighborhood that has Colonial in it, whether it's beginning with or ends with. And that question mark right here kind of gives you some examples. See how they got the asterisk in there, contains and stuff. That might be a topic for later if you don't know how to use the asterisk there. We can talk about it, but we got Colonial. So the only thing I'm doing right now is I'm running a stat. Okay, I started with preset here, and I wanted a historical count of active listings. Then I went to customize it, and it's just this year, since January of this year, active listings, number of active listings, and the dollar volume of active listings, both in a column format, and I'm grouping it by month. Okay. Once I have that, all I cared for was residential. I decided to do residential and detached house. I did not want to do it attached too, but I could have. I could have taken that out. I could have said this, said residential and multi. In fact, I could have just did nothing. I don't care what property type it is. If it's in this subdivision, I want to know about it. So, and maybe that subdivision is just residential, detached or attached. If that's the case, I'm not going to pick a property type. I'm just going to say Colonial. In fact, I'll probably just do that. Now, I'm not concerned about any prices or bedrooms or bathrooms. I could say all the single family in Colonial Heritage with exactly 4 bedrooms. What's the number? But I don't. I just want to see the number of active listings this year for Colonial Heritage, nothing else. Now right here, I'm on the search tab. I showed you these 3 tabs, which kind of is your criteria. And this is the fields you throw in for your criteria, but this is the results. Do you want to, I'm on a search right now, but I can see them in a chart, in the data. The bugs should be gone. In fact, you probably don't see it. I always see it, and I don't know why they left that on for me, because I don't know what it means either. So just ignore that last one there. Right now, it is called historical count of active listings, but if I do go to save it here in a moment, I can edit and give it my own name, like historical count of active listings for Colonial Heritage, and I can save it. That way I can always have it whenever I want it. Okay. Well, once you're ready, now there is a style option. I can print things, I can email it, I can clear it, but I just want to generate it right now. I want to see what those stats are. And here we go. Let's see what it shows us. So what we've got here is, here's the number of active listings based on month in Colonial Heritage subdivision. So based on this, we can see in January, and here's our colors, active listings, number of active. So it looks like there's about, and see when you leave your cursor there, it actually gives you the number. So in January, there are 28 active listings in Colonial Heritage. And in the blue is the dollar volume. If you add up the dollar value, there's $10,813,720 worth of listings there. Now remember, these are just active listings. I haven't got into solds. Active in February went up to 33, 30, 33, 34, and then 26. Okay, and then the volume you can kind of trace there. Okay, found 88. So what I could do, if I go back to my presets, instead of the historical count, let's go to the price trend. Okay, let's see what the price trend is. Okay, so now that I want a price trend, do I want last 10 years? Well, let's just do year to date also. Here I probably want to do the average sale price. And not just average sales price, but let's do an advanced option again. Average sale price on one side. How about an average days to sell, days on market? Okay, let's see. Let's do a column for both of these here. So we'll see what the average sale price is, and we'll leave Colonial Heritage there. Okay, we'll leave it there. I could say residential and break it down, but right now I don't care. If it's in Colonial Heritage and it's sold since January this year, I want to see it. Tell me about it. So, and I'm grouping by month again. Now that I switched it to sales, do I want to do list price, group it by month, primary year, or sales price? I think month is still the pretty basic one to do there. And then generate. Okay. Sale price average is right here. So here you can see the average sale price of properties. Now remember, it's all property types. So 401 is the average sale price. 402. Here is 364, 314, 362, 357. So right now remember, I didn't say what size, how much, square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that. I just said Colonial Heritage, and that's it. Now, how many did we have? Well, we had 23. Oh, that's days of. It took an average of 23 days. Here it took an average of 68 days. Here it took an average of 162 days. Here 165. There got a little shorter, down to 37. There it went up to 143. But you know what we're not really seeing is how many. I got the number of days and the sale price average, but I don't see how many. So I'm going to go back here and do number of sales. Instead of the days on market, days it took to sell, I want to see the average and the number. Let's try it this way and generate. Okay, now in January we only had 2, and here we had 3. Here we had 2 sold. Here we had 6 sold. Here we had 3. There we had 2. So this, remember, it's just Colonial Heritage. I didn't say what property type or anything else, just that. And there's still your same average there. Okay, and see how I went with the charts. I'm on the chart. Well, if I go back to the search tab, I can change it from Colonial Heritage instead of there. Judy, what county or city is Colonial Heritage in, if you don't mind? I was kind of curious. Williamsburg, James City. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now instead of that one subdivision, let's do the entire county of James City County. Now let's do our stats, and let's kind of know the numbers and the price and stuff. Now we can see how it compares to the rest of the county here. Here we had 333,000, 105, 311, and 124, 323, and 151, and so forth there. And if I go back from chart back to search, what you could do, let's say you're doing a CMA in an area. Maybe you want to know, okay, well, I've got a house that's being sold in James City and it's got exactly 3 bedrooms and exactly 2 total baths. I want to see what other houses in James City is going for. Now, I know that's kind of a big county to pick from, but you can just kind of get a feel for it and see what the average is. So the average price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house in James City is $241,000. Then it went up to 276, 294. So when we were doing the stats on Colonial Heritage, if you remember, the pricing was much higher, upper 350s to almost 400,000 or just over. So you can see that was a nicer, based on the numbers or the dollar amount, it sounds like it was a more expensive area to live in than typical county out there. Okay. And then here you got the number. So there's 8, 18, 11, 17, 17, and 12. So you kind of get a feel. Okay. Now remember, I also just did exactly 3 and exactly 2 total baths. I didn't do square feet or anything else there. Just playing with the numbers a little bit. And you probably always heard that you can make numbers say anything you want it to say, and it's kind of true. I mean, I'm sure there's some way I can run a stat here and show that I'm the best realtor in Williamsburg if I do it the right way. Well, I don't think, I can do that because I think I've been to Williamsburg, but I've never sold a property there. So, but yeah, you can just, configure it so much that you can, get just about any kind of stat to prove things that are out there. So that's why whenever I see stats on TV and stuff, I always like to know the criteria. What, how are they searching and stuff like that, because a lot of things can be misleading sometimes out there. So, okay. So let me do this one more time. I took out the beds and baths here. Got the chart. Now, if I go to data, instead of looking at the charts, which I always like the charts, is graphical, you can see it visually. But if you go to data, now you've got nothing but the raw numbers. So here, and this can be helpful too, because here you can actually see the trend moving up or lower, and same thing over here. And you can always export it out into an Excel spreadsheet there, and use it as you like. And then debug, like I said, I really don't know what this is. I'm just going to click on it and see, but yeah, that's just something programmers need. So you shouldn't be seeing that one. And if you do, just ignore it. Okay. So far, any questions? Any questions there? Remember, there's historical sales and price range. There's list price, square feet ratios. That's always a good one too. And price, sale price versus list price. How far did they come off of that price by the time they sold it there? Close that back up there. So if I do sale price versus list price, same area, past 5 years, and the past 5 years is not too bad. That way you can see how it was the previous year at about the same time, and it can compare it there. So I'll do a closing price to list price ratio, and that's the original ratio. I kind of like this one, the original ratio, original price, because maybe it started at 200,000, dropped down to 190, but sold for 180. Well, I want to see what it started at and where it sold at. This one here was the last price after. It's the 190 price, not the 200. So if it started at 200, dropped down to 190, and then sold for 180, I almost like to compare it to its original, where it started here. So I'm going to pick that one. I'm going to do a column, group it by month again. Like I said, and you could group it by year too, but I'm going to break it down by months. And the secondary, I think I'll do sales number of sales. So that way I know if it's a handful or several. And then I generate it. Oh, no, I did column, didn't I? Well, I'm doing the last 5 years. Let me see if I can group it by year. Primary year. Let's see if, well, that looks really getting kind of hard to read there. Okay, so now it's just 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you can see the sales number of sales, 1726, 1766, the 1802 is going up, 1801. So 17 and 18 almost exactly the same number. And then with 1846, now we're only halfway through this year, or almost about. So 18, so the number, if you double that, 7 and, if that's 700 and 700, that'll be 1400. So it does look like it's going to be lesser year, but things were shut down for a while, so maybe things will really pick up and increase the rest of the year, hopefully, and maybe it'll catch back up with itself there. We'll just have to wait and see. But here's your ratio, okay? Here it was 97%. That means, they came off the price. Sounds like they really came off the price. Here it was, getting better, getting closer, getting even closer, getting closer to the asking price. And this one, look at that, 99%. So they didn't come off the price that much. So if you look at this trend and believe in trends, they really came off the price, getting a little less and less there. So it's seemed like it was, it's definitely becoming a seller's market there. Okay. So instead of this one, is there something different I can use with close price and original price? So what I'd like to do is, what is the average original price? Here we go. The average original price and the average sale price. Right here, sell price average. So I'm going to see what the average starting point and the average selling point. That way you can see it that way. Okay. So the original price, and see, here's the gap. Here's that 97% versus, and that one should have been the 99%, right? 380 and 383. Really? That's that big of a gap? I would have thought it'd been closer. So this one was 360 original, but they average sale 312. So that's 12 and 60. That's about 48,000 difference there. Here, this was 68 and 9. That's about 59,000. 357 and 330. That's about 47. 70 and 318. Well, that's a 60 something. Yeah. Yeah, it's making my brain hurt now. I'm trying to figure out, because if I did those percentages, you would think they would be getting tighter and tighter, right? Because our percentages was getting tighter and tighter with this here. Average 383. That's about a 47,000 there. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I would have thought they'd been a little tighter there. Let's just do year to date. Let's see what this does and break it down by month again. Okay. Wow. Look at June so far. They're selling more than what they're asking for, which probably is true because everything was, kind of closed down like that. Now people have to move, I guess, and now they might be getting in a bidding war, possibly. But you guys tell me, if these, what they mean, just in case I'm not interpreting them exactly here. 56 and 26. Here they were April, actually a little bit higher. But all it takes is a few expensive houses to sell more, and it kind of skews the numbers for the average house too, also out there. So, okay. Now, let me show you this, style options. I showed you advanced, open and hide, where you can have a secondary step, but if you go to style, what you can do is change the color palette. So if you don't like the default, you can go basic and generate it and see what basic does. Basic has that color scheme. Go to berry, generate it, and that's berry. You can go to bright pastel, Got that. That looks kind of like the basic blue and yellow. Blue and yellow, it does, yeah. Earth tones, let's try this one. Okay, so that's something I want to show you. I see green. Okay, I think there was a semi-transparent one. Let's see what that one looks like. Okay. Semi-transparent's not bad. Just, I mean, I'm not really talking about the color. It's just that you can kind of see behind it, the line as they go through it there. Fill pattern, you can do a cylinder instead of plain. It gets you like that. Emboss, like that. Okay. A wedge. And one more, light to dark. Okay. Kind of like that light to dark, I think the best. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the berry. Or not the berry, no, berry's not bad either. Bright pastel, let's see what that one does. Yeah, okay. It would really be cool if you could pick the two different colors there. Light to dark display values. I like that one and the 3D, well, I'm not sure about the 3D chart. Back to front. Let's do all three of those. There we go. I like the display values because it puts it on the top so you can actually see it at the same time, the numbers. 3D style is not bad, but the front to back, let's take that one off. There you go. Oh, that one's you just put in the other one. You choose which one's front and which one's back. You just flip them around there. Okay. So I think it's the 3D chart that makes it that way. Okay. But I do like the values on it. Okay. Because if you don't have the values, then you're just looking at it there. Okay. So that's your styles, hide styles, starts. Remember, you can always print it. You can email it or clear and start over again. Any questions so far, you guys? Everyone's quiet. Hopefully I'm showing you something here. Now let's say this is something I do all the time, okay? I always want to know the year to date or the past 12 months or the previous year. And I don't want to have to keep coming in here or write it down. How did I do this again? I can't remember. Well, what you can do is go to save. When you go to save, you can give it a name. And here I'll do it sale price / LP ratio. And then maybe it's for, I think this is the James City County, yeah. James City CO. Okay, save it as a presets, and I'll just go and hit save here. Okay, so now on my presets, it's one that I have myself. I created this. So whenever I leave and I say, you know what, let me do those stats. It's due for me to update those stats again. I can go right back to stats, click on it, and generate it. And it's thinking, there we go. And there it is. All the stuff's right there. Okay, and I don't have to pull that out. If I go to save, not save it as a preset, save preset search criteria. Oops, let's take that out. I can save the search criteria with the preset and put it on my home page. So I'm not saving it as a preset now. I'm saving the search criteria with the presets. You know, I'm saving all this stuff, but I'm putting it on my home page widget there. Oh, I guess since I already saved it, I have to give it a little different name, I guess. I thought I could, I don't know why I have to give it a different name. Here we go. Why can't I? I don't know why I can't do that there. Let's see if someone else's preset. Oh. It's not someone else's, it's my own out there. So, okay. Interesting. But if let me go back here. Let me delete it. Let's go to customize your date. This was the original price average, group by month, advanced options, and secondary. Sale price average there. Okay, and I think I changed the style, the display the values, and I think I said bright, and I think I said light to dark. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So now if I save it, instead of saving it as a preset, I can save it as search criteria and put it on there and give it a name. My stats for James City County. And save it. Okay. That's probably the best because then it still shows up under my presets. But if I go to home, all these different widgets here, well, you get one called My Stats, and right there is My Stats for James City County, and I click on it, and there you go. Can you save the reports to a client folder outside of Matrix directly? The only way you can do that, Mavis, is to email it to yourself or print it off and put it in there. Or if you go to data, you can export this data out. And once you export it out, you can open it up in Excel. But it's just the data, remember, it's not the actual chart though. So there's the data. And then when I save it, I could save it outside of Matrix into that client folder there. So that's really about the only options there, Mavis. And I wish, you know, because we got contacts, and that's a very good question there. We've got contacts inside of Matrix. I think if nothing else, why couldn't we save it here and say like assign it to a client? And it would have to be inside of Matrix though. I don't know if we have much control outside of Matrix besides printing it, emailing it, or exporting it out. But at least inside of Matrix, it would be nice if we could save it to that contact inside or attach it to them if it makes sense. But good question there, Mavis. Maybe that's something we can add on in the future there. So yeah. Oh no, thank you. Good question there. Okay. Anything else, you guys? Any custom? I don't think I really showed that, but custom is nice. You can start it whenever you want and end it whatever year and stuff out there. I mean, past 10 years. Now, past 10 years, assuming that the matrix information we have inside of your MLS goes back that far. I would assume it does, but, you know, let's say you guys only go back 5 years and stuff. Well, last 10 years you couldn't do because we only have 5 years worth of data. But we'll see here. Come on. There we go. So it does look like we go back 10 years there. Look at all the data. So you can, let me move back to a chart here. Oh, that's by month. Yeah, we don't want that. Let's do a year. Just see how the last 10 years have been playing out here. Can you just look at the last 6 months for anything? Sure, absolutely. Thought that changed. I was just changing the year there, but yeah, let me go back to 6 months here. So there's the last 10 years. 50, yeah, okay, so let's go back, we'll do custom. So last 6 months, January to June. That would be 6 months, I would assume, right there. And then do whatever else you want here. Maybe we want, since June is still not finished, let's do December 2019 to June. Let's do May 2020. So that's 6 months right there. So yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever. I said year. So I need to change this grouping here. Month. Now it should be 6 months. I grouped it down by month there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the last 6 full months there, you can kind of see there. So if you can think of it, pretty much we could show it to you. Not always. I mean, it's not always you can do everything, but pretty much just about whatever you like to do there. And just remember, when you're back here on the search screen, if any of these fields that you did you don't like, you can always go to map search and then draw your shape. Okay, you can define your own shape. Okay, and once you define your own shape, then you can generate it. And honestly, when you do this, you don't have to pick any property type. You don't have to any type of any area. You can do it for the entire. This is clear this out. You can do it for the entire MLS area. Everything right here. I got everything here. So when I generate it, that's the entire MLS right there. Not just James City County or not. I mean, that's everything. Because look at my search criteria. Didn't pick any property types or type of houses, no counties, no subdivisions, no neighborhood names, no price, nothing. That's everything in the MLS right there. Now you might say, well, let's just give every residential property type. I don't care about these other property types. Let's do all property types. Now it's going to run it and give you stuff, but it's just for residential. So you always got to think about first, what is your criteria? Do you care about the property type or not? And what else do you want to do out there? Okay. What else, you guys? And a lot of times, I mean, yeah, you can look at expireds and go from there. The months of inventory. I think months of inventory kind of gets you into the absorption rates. How much are you absorbing out of the inventory every month? So if you have 100 active listings and you're selling, 25 houses a month, well, that's 4 months of inventory there. It's going to take you 4 months to sell that 100 listings. But if you're selling, if you're selling 33 a month, that's every 3 months. If you're selling, 50 of them, that's every 2 months. You're selling half of your inventory there. So the absorption rate out there is out there. So yeah. Can you show the report that would show the months of inventory? Sure. Okay. Let's do months of inventory and the average number of sales. So let's try this here. December, May. We'll just do residential. We'll just do James City County. Let's see what this gives us here. Okay. So months of inventory. We have 4 months of inventory here. And now you're going to ask me to explain this to you. It'll take me a second to think. I moved all week, and I moved from Dayton, Ohio. I'm up in Grand Rapids, Michigan now. So just got married 2 weeks ago, so my brain's still trying to get back into the swing of things there. So that's 4 months of inventory, and we had 110 sales. So that means how many new active listings? Okay, well, that's the months of inventory, 110. Now remember that number, 110. I'm going to switch this to number of active listings, number of new listings right here. So there's 76 new listings, 161 new listings. I'm sure this tells us something also, 206 new listings. So we got new. So 166, but you notice the number of new listings kind of went down a little bit in April. May they kind of jumped back up, but you got to remember April we were locked down a lot, or at least in certain parts. I'm not sure how Virginia was. I know Michigan was big time. So 4 months, 7 months, 6 months, 4 months, 4 months, 4 months there. But yeah, I'm not really sure what this would give me here. Let's do the number of sales here. So we had the 110 number of sales, 4 months of inventory, 7 months of inventory. So we had a lot of just sitting there. Yeah. Yeah, I need to kind of wrap my head back around all this here. Yeah, that was another good question for me there. Yeah, it might be something I might need to Google and see what months of inventory and absorption rate really kind of tells us out there. But of course, the more inventory means we've got a lot of houses coming onto the market. And if you remember January, we had a lot of new listings there. So that's why we have influx of all these listings coming on, but we weren't selling them that fast. So the months of inventory grew by 3 months. Now it's back down to 6, now it's down to 4, now it's at 4, now it's at 4. So it kind of just, but you can see right here, it gives you, it looks like it gives you the number, but it's, you notice these 3 here are all 4, but they're at little different levels there also. So I think it's, yeah, it's 4, but yet it's not 5. And this is 4, but it's really almost not 4. It's closer to 4 than it is 3. So I wonder if we go to the data, it should, does it break it down by, no, see, I wish it'd give us like a 3.72 or something like that. It gives us a whole number there. Yeah. Yeah. Don't think we can break it down. Now, of course, you can always do a line. Let's see what the line gives us. So you can kind of, yeah, smooth line and a smooth line. How it just smoothly rotates. Let's do an area and an area. I guess I'm just particular to the, yeah, and I think this would really matter if we've got the right numbers to match up here, where you can see there's more listings. Here we got more sales than listings are going out. So I think with this blue in front, you're going to have the number of sales. Oh, that's the inventory. That's right. The blue is the inventory. So here we have more listings than solds. Here we have more solds than listings. So we're absorbing more of it. Here we're not absorbing much because they're growing. Well, shoot. Yeah, there again, I'm need to wrap my head around it again. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah. Okay. Anything else, you guys? Can you tell in a specific subdivision how long it is taking to sell houses within a price range? Sure, sure. Yeah, let's try that one there. So let's go back to our search criteria. And if you're okay with it, I'll just do that Colonial Heights again, or Heritage Colonial, unless you have a different one. Let's say, oh, Ford's Colony. Okay, you did say Ford's Colony there. Okay, Ford's Colony. There we go. In James City, price range of 650. You want me to do your homework for you, huh? Okay, I see what you're doing. 650 to 750. How long it's taking to sell? So let's go to days to sell, average. Let's just do days to sell and the average sale price. Let's see what those two do. Busted. Yep, I busted you. Is this 6 months okay for you, Mavis? How long is taking? Yes, okay. Let's generate it. Use current. And I switched it there. I still partial to the column one. That one helps me understand things a little better, or at least what I'm used to. So here in Forest Colony, between that price range, days to sell. So they were selling in, wow, 263 days, but then January it was 79 days. 307, 106, 218. Seems like it's kind of all over the board there. Sell price, 664, 722, 672. So at least the prices are anywhere between, let's go to the data here. Prices are anywhere from 664 to 722 right there. So you can see that's the price range in the last 6 months. Let's change this to past 12 months to give us a bigger, broader. Ooh, wow, nothing, days to sale. Let's just see number of sales. I just want to see how many we're actually looking at. Maybe we're only looking at 1 or 2 houses. Number of sales. See, yeah, we didn't sell anything there. So yeah, that's why it's jumping around a lot there, just because there's only 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So, and that's by the price. You got to remember we had that price range on there too. I'm not sure why it keeps losing that price range when I come back there. Yeah, very cool. So just remember, we're only looking at 1 or 2 or 3 properties, so that's why it was all over the board. Some were taking longer, some were taking shorter and stuff, because we really narrowed down that price range there. But let's just not even put a price range there. Let's kind of go from there. Ford's Colony. No price range whatsoever on here. And now what we can see, now we got 68 days, 73 days. Yeah, and then the yellow is number of sales, 20, 16. Well, let's go back to our data here. Might be easier to read here. Oh, remember, I can go to that style and I can display the values on here. That might help us too. Okay, now back on the chart. So now you can see we had 20, 16, 18, 12, 9. We're getting a lot more looking at, because now we're not tied to that 650 by 750. But if I switch this back to the average sale price, let's shorten it here. Let's just say year to date. So we'll just have less to look at. So 402, 361, 442, 432. So now you can see, well, okay, we got a bigger price there. 133 days to sale, 122, 75. So they are taking, 3 months to 6 months maybe to sell, and you can get your prices there too. So yeah. So yeah, lots of stuff you can do and play with there. Good questions. Anything else? Good questions, you guys. Okay. All right. Well, right at 3 o'clock. Good timing. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys. You will get a thank you email, an auto one, I think later on today or tomorrow, thanking you for attending. So you can always reply to that. I will also try to email you a link to the recording of this. So that way, when you get that email, you can always reply to me also if you have questions, if I didn't answer it or if you thought of it later. But other than that, hopefully you'll sign up for some more webinars. Like I said, I can't remember what exactly they are this week, but I hope to see you guys on here, and hope you guys, you're having a good week so far starting. So have a great day, you guys.